Selamat datang di live Instagram Brunch with Dave bersama saya Dave Hendrik. Selamat berakhir pekan. Thank you for watching and joining us back. Kalau teman-teman ketinggalan episode Brunch with Dave, bisa dinantikan dan disaksikan ulang di YouTube-nya Bazaar Indonesia ya. Apa nih menu brunch-nya? Saya di rumah, Anda di rumah. Tapi kita bertemu dengan obrolan yang selalu seru dan menarik yang sudah dipersiapkan khusus oleh tim Bazaar Indonesia, oleh timnya Brunch with Dave, ya. Nah, hari ini saya ingin menyapa teman-teman mungkin yang menyaksikan, yang berencana untuk segera menikah, sudah punya pasangan, sedang menggodok rencana pernikahan. Kan katanya ada baiknya kita sama-sama belajar dari pengalaman orang yang sudah terlebih dahulu menjalani perjalanan pernikahan. Perbedaan yang menyatukan, judul Brunch with Dave kali ini. Karena saya akan ajak Anda untuk menyimak cerita dari Daniel Mananta. Let me correct. Menyimak cerita dari Mr. and Mrs. Mananta. Cakep ya. Dari ceritanya Daniel sama ceritanya Viola. Oke? Nah, coba ya, saya sambil lari-lari matanya menyaksikan apakah Daniel sama Viola itu sudah join apa belum ya. Mataku sembab banget. Enggak kok, aku nggak baru bangun tidur. Aku tuh tiap hari ada kegiatan apa enggak, bangun tidurnya jam 5. Udah kebiasaan karena terbiasa siaran pagi jam 6 soalnya ya. Cuman tahu matanya emang bengkak. Udah olahraga, udah sarapan. Oh Daniel, maaf. My God. Oke, one moment.
Pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Good morning, Dave.
We're brunching with you.
Menu kamu lebih menarik deh. Menu gue kayaknya
Healthy. That looks
healthy.
really good.
Yeah.
Wow, Oliver, all the way from New York. Wah, gila, baru join dong.
Oh.
Really? Oh my
Oliver
God.
Prasetyo.
I
What's up,
see,
bro?
I see. Hai. Viola, salam kenal dari saya. Kita baru kali ini ketemu ya.
I think so. Maybe we met before, but we didn't get introduced.
Okay. So nice finally to put a face on that name.
Thank you.
Mungkin aku akan mulai obrolan di Brunch with Dave ini dengan mengucapkan selamat. Karena aku lihat di postingannya Daniel, you guys just renew your wedding vow. Is it for your anniversary?
Not yet. Anniversary kita sebenarnya 10 tahun kita itu tanggal 2 Oktober. Tapi, you know, there is this, apa namanya, kayak the show called Journey to Love, di mana kita di situ lagi nyari marriage wisdom, itu di channel YouTube kita. Dan abis itu begitu kita ketemu sama orang yang ngasih kita marriage wisdom tersebut, kita akan merenew lagi our marriage vow based on the wisdom that they give us. Dan kemarin itu we had our renewal of marriage wisdom. We have our renewal of marriage. Karena kita juga mempromosikan budaya yang ada di tempat tersebut, which is like Jogja. Makanya ngelihat gue pakai best cup, Viola pakai kebaya. Dan,
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved wearing the kebaya. I felt like a princess, like a Japanese princess.
Was it your first time to wear kebaya, Viola?
Yeah, right?
That kind of style, yes, actually, yeah, that style, yes.
Okay, what a very nice experience. How does it like being married to Daniel Mananta, Viola?
Wow, Dave, start with that question. Gila, langsung aja. Shoot for the kill, bro.
Well, where to start? Yeah. Well, over the last 10 years, it has definitely changed being married to Daniel. And I'm pretty sure we experienced quite some challenges, just like every married couple in the first years. And then specifically, you know, everyone comes with their own baggage and brokenness into a marriage. And so figuring that out during the first few years and still now, that comes with its own challenges. And I think we we grew along the way together.
Okay.
And yeah, now being married to him, I'm so proud to be his wife. I'm so proud of him. I think we're better together, and I think we make each other better. And yeah, he made me definitely a better woman, and I think I made him a better man.
Oh,
Jackpot.
that's the confidence. Okay. What would you say were different from both of you now compared to when you guys first started the journey together? 10 years, right?
Well, we're married 10 years, but we dated already we're dating 2 years before that. So
Okay.
yeah, we recently found a video of back then. Daniel was bringing this camera back then
To Germany.
to Germany, and we watched ourselves and what we were talking to each other,
Hmm.
and it was
Okay.
awful. We felt really embarrassed.
Okay.
Kayak typical. Iya, kalau misalnya lo ngelihat apa ya, kayak video zaman 10 tahun yang lalu
Yeah,
gitu
yeah,
ya, dan
yeah.
kayaknya at that time gue ngerasa value gue beda banget sih sama value gue sekarang gitu. Dimana
Okay.
kalau misalnya value gue dulu itu kayaknya lebih ambinya itu lebih ke arah, gue pengen terkenal, gue pengen bikin sensasi, gue pengen kontroversial, gue pengen, ala-ala MTV banget lah saat itu ya. Cuman sekarang ini kayaknya bukan tone down, gue ngerasa ambisinya masih, I still run with that same power. Kekuatannya itu masih ada, tapi prioritasnya berubah. Jadi mungkin ambisinya perspektifnya berubah gitu, dan gue ngerasa kayak itu yang Viola berhasil ngerubah gue dari sisi itu. Kayak dulu gue penting banget yang namanya brand. Gue harus pakai jam tertentu, gue harus pakai mobil merek tertentu, gue harus pakai kemeja atau baju-baju tertentu gitu. Cuman kayak Viola adalah salah satu orang yang mungkin tidak tumbuh di kawasan Pluit dan sekitarnya, jadi dia mungkin mempunyai sisi yang lain gitu soal brand gitu kan. Kalau gue kan banget gitu kan, gila harus branded. Nah, itu yang ngerubah gua banget, sehingga gue jadinya sekarang kalau misalnya ngelihat apa ya, mungkin Viola bilang ngapain lu butuh brand kalau misalnya baju yang gak ada brandnya tapi bisa membuat you look good gitu. Don't find your security, don't find your identity dari brand yang lu pakai. Justru lu harus tanpa brand tersebut lu bisa tetap menemukan your security sama your identity gitu. Jadi yes, sekarang gue masih pakai baju-baju branded atau mungkin jam tangan branded, tapi gue nggak harus menemukan my security and identitas gue itu dari barang-barang branded tersebut gitu. Jadi again, perspektifnya berubah, dan gue lebih secure, dan itu juga gara-gara Viola juga sih. Dan itu perubahan dari 10 tahun gitu.
Oh, now I'm in love with you too, Viola. My God.
You promoted me so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, ini signal kita bagus nggak? By the way, sorry, signalnya aman ya? Gue takutnya kayak wifi kita salah atau apa. Oke, good.
Enggak. Kalian di mana toh ini? Masih di luar kota atau udah di Jakarta?
Jakarta.
Di Jakarta.
Oke.
Yeah.
Daniel sama Viola, kan emang bener ya, sepengetahuan aku, Daniel di awal-awal pernikahan kalian memutuskan untuk tidak mempublish bagian kehidupan itu kepada publik. What we would like to know, why now?
Karena basement kita udah mulai jamuran ya, dan anak-anak gue sama Viola kayaknya emang udah saatnya untuk kita keluarin. Pas gue kurung mereka di basement selama 8 tahun mereka udah mulai stres gitu. Akhirnya gue buka gitu kan, wah ada sarang laba-laba di mana-mana and everything.
Tunggu dulu, sorry. Gue cuma mau disclaimer, jangan sampai abis ini ada headlines gitu ya, Daniel Mananta dan Viola mengurung anak-anak mereka di basement selama 10 tahun. Daniel bercanda ya, gampar ya. Kadang kan suka gitu ya, zaman sekarang wartawan, puyeng. Okay, continue.
In all seriousness.
So I mean, people are asking us, Daniel, why did you hide your wife? And hide from who? Yeah, hide from who?
Yeah,
First of all,
yeah.
In our circle of friends and our surrounding, we're not hiding each other. I
Okay.
mean, everyone knows we're married. But of course, like it's a different thing being public about this and involving other people in the close surrounding compared
Yeah.
to in the media, right? Because
Yeah.
media is a completely different thing altogether, which Dave, if you're in the media. And I think 10 years ago, I didn't feel comfortable being
Okay.
like I'm not comfortable being interviewed, being in front of the camera.
Okay.
When there's a camera, I'm looking, to run. I want to run, and I didn't think I have anything to give as well, and I don't
Okay.
like particularly to be in the spotlight
Okay.
if it's about me, and now I think what has changed about that is that in the last year, especially, we've seen that a lot of people struggle with relationship and
Okay.
with their marriages and with just the situation is just tougher than before. And we have overcome so much in our relationship over the past 10 years or 12 years, if you want to include the
Yeah.
dating,
Yeah.
that we really feel like, we might not be the perfect couple and nobody's perfect and nobody has a perfect relationship, but we just want to give hope to others that even if you have
Okay.
struggles and even if you have differences and even if times are tough, there might be hope that you can still make it together and you might come out stronger. And
Okay.
we know that we have that together. That's something that we can give together. And so now coming out into the media and using the spotlight for something bigger than myself or bigger than ourselves is something that I'm willing to sacrifice my privacy for, and before I wasn't willing to do that.
Ooh.
So,
Bravo, girl.
Yeah. Terjemahkan, Dave, silakan.
Sorry
I
for
got this.
speaking everything in English.
Ya, nggak apa-apa. I got distracted dengan yang komentar. Bahasa opo to iki? Bahasa Inggris sama bahasa Indonesia lah ya. Bahasa apa?
Oke,
Anyway.
gue akan menerjemahkan sedikit aja gitu. But basically emang tadi pertanyaan Dave bener banget. Kenapa selama ini gue kayak menutupi gitu ya pernikahan gue? Karena gue nggak pengen pertama yang paling penting adalah gue pengen memisahkan banget antara kehidupan profesional gue dengan kehidupan personal gue.
Keluarga,
Dan yang
ya.
kedua tadi seperti yang Viola bilang, Viola sendiri juga nggak nyaman di depan kamera. Gue sering banget tiba-tiba ada wartawan media datang ke gue dan Viola tiba-tiba udah ngilang. Wih gila, udah jadi kayak bayangan ninja gitu. Das, mana dia? Dan abis itu tapi gara-gara setahun terakhir ini, pertama kali banget gue posting Viola di Instagram gue adalah ketika kita merayakan ulang tahun pernikahan kita yang ke-9, which is tahun lalu, di tahun 2020, bulan Oktober. Dan gara-gara kita ngerasa kita berdua sama-sama sedih gitu ya. Banyak banget teman-teman kita di circle kita itu yang pernikahannya jadi tidak sehat gara-gara pandemi. Dan kita ngerasa bahwa selama kita menikah, banyak juga tantangan yang kita hadapin, tapi kita berhasil melewati tantangan tersebut dengan membaca buku, mendapatkan nilai-nilai dari beberapa mentor kita, dan akhirnya kita ngerasa, gila ya, kita egois banget nih. Kayak, kita belajar banyak banget soal pernikahan, habis itu kita keep aja sendiri, dan kita bilang, good luck ya sama pernikahan kalian ya, pernikahan sulit banget, haha, dan kita ngerasa kayak egois banget gitu. Nah, jadi akhirnya kita ngerasa, yaudah deh, seperti tadi Viola bilang, ada panggilan yang lebih besar untuk pernikahan kita, sehingga kita harus mengorbankan mungkin ketidaknyamanan dari ego masing-masing. Ya udahlah kalau gitu. Kita kasih lihat, it's okay untuk orang publik tahu tentang pernikahan kita, karena dengan itu kita bisa membagikan nilai-nilai pernikahan yang sudah kita pelajari selama hampir 10 tahun ini. Itu sih kenapa pada akhirnya sih, rasa peduli kita sama keluarga Indonesia. Karena kita ngerasa banget negara ini akan jauh bisa lebih maju dan lebih sehat apabila keluarga sehat juga. Dimulai dari keluarga yang sehat dulu gitu. So dari apa yang kita pelajari, dan keluarga yang sehat itu harus dimulai dari mana? Dari pernikahan yang sehat antara si papa mamanya gitu. Kalau papa mamanya nggak sehat, orang tua yang nggak sehat, anak-anaknya otomatis nggak sehat juga gitu. Toxic in a toxic family. Jadi kita makanya come up dengan si Journey to Love ini yang ada di channel YouTube kita.
Daniel, that's a good issue. Daniel kan tadi bilang bahwa Daniel melihat dari pengalaman teman-teman banyak yang mengalami rintangan hubungan suami istri di masa pandemi ini. Boleh dong dibagi buat yang nonton hari ini, apa sih menurut Daniel dan Viola caranya untuk bisa overcoming the obstacles husband and wife living in this pandemic? And apa sih, me being single, I could not imagine, apa sih bukannya seneng ya berdua-duaan pandemi. Jadi gue nggak ngerti tuh, it's a whole different ball game for me, ya toh? So please, elaborate.
So many right now.
Okay, on top of your mind.
Wait, well, the question that you're asking, I think basically it's a general thing. Like, if your marriage, everyone needs to work on their marriage. Yeah. If your marriage is healthy, then in this pandemic, it's probably gonna still be healthy, and maybe there's some challenges, but you know already how to work through them. You know how to do it. You know how to overcome conflict. You know how to, come out better together. But if your marriage hasn't been good and you still haven't figured out how to do those things, how to fight properly, how to make peace again, how to get through things, then this pandemic will bring out the worst and it will show it even worse, right? So it's not about just how do you overcome these challenges in a pandemic as a couple. I think it's a general thing, like how do you in general make your marriage healthy, right? And that's a very big field, like, probably how many people have written books about that and scientists studied that. And I think that's the amazing thing right now, that we're so globalized and there's so many amazing studies out there about marriage, about relationship, about family. There's so much we can learn. And especially in this pandemic, we might have the time to actually join online marriage workshops or read books, from scientists about the science about how to have a healthy marriage, like from the Gottman Institute, or Love and Respect is a really great book. And there's so many resources. And I think this is the time to really work on it and to really find those resources and say, okay, I'm going to invest in my marriage. I'm going to invest time in my marriage or in our marriage. And it has to come from both sides, I believe. But very often it's not just something that we need to work out in our marriage. There's stuff in us that we need to work out ourselves, right? And that baggage that we've brought into our relationship is something that I need to deal with. And being together, close together in a house all the time, you rub against each other constantly, and it's like, and
friction.
Yes. And the more you spend time together and the more you're close together in one space, the more you feel that. And so these signs are not, when you see that like you're getting frustrated with each other, it's a sign that, okay, there's something in me that, gets triggered every time I'm close to him. Maybe I need to work on that. What is it? Maybe I need to work on myself. And that work in myself will ultimately create a healthier me. And a healthier me is the biggest gift I can give to this relationship. So I need to work on my health. He needs to do the same thing with himself, but that's not my responsibility. I am my responsibility and I need to work on myself. And so I think that's something we can also do in this time, because this time shows us even more what's wrong with us,
Jadi kalau misalnya boleh buat tambahin dikit, sorry ya, anggap aja ini ya. So ini Viola, ini Daniel. Ketika kita berfriksi, boom, air yang ada di Viola bakal keluar, Daniel yang ada di airnya di sini bakal keluar juga. Boom, makin friksi, makin friksi, makin friksi. Dan kalau misalnya di dalam air ini isinya toxic, itu artinya toxic ini akan menyebar ke Daniel. Dan begitu juga dengan jadi pada akhirnya yang Viola bilang adalah kita kadang-kadang harus membersihkan toxic di dalam air kita sendiri, supaya kalau misalnya yang keluar itu ketika kita berfriksi, boom, yang keluar ternyata it's love, it's encouragement, it's hope, it's not anger, it's not fear, it's not anxiety, bukan ketakutan, bukan lagi kekhawatiran. Jadi begitu friksi, kita malah saling nge-support each other, itu adalah cara untuk berargumentasi dengan sehat. A lot of people mikir kalau misalnya kita menikah, udah happily ever after, gak akan ada lagi yang namanya berantem-berantem dalam pernikahan. You know, you found the one. Wow, you found the one. Congratulations. Sekarang ini lo akan bahagia seumur hidup lo. Lu masih akan berantem. Lu masih akan berantem. Nah, gimana caranya supaya lu berantem dengan sehat? Ya, lu harus membuat diri lu sendiri sehat dan tidak toksik. Karena toksik yang ada dalam diri lu, ketika itu berfriksi, itu akan menyebar ke orang-orang sekitar lu. Dan lebih parahnya lagi, ketika lu mengisi otak lu dengan toksik, hal-hal toksik dan negatif, yang ada ketika lu lagi stres, ketika lu lagi friksi, lu akan mengeluarkan si toksik tersebut ke orang-orang yang paling lu cintain, which is ke anak-anak lu, gitu, ke orang tua lu, ke, you know, jadi sebisa mungkin fill yourself with healthy stuff, you know, yang positif gitu. Sebisa mungkin jaga otak lu, jaga hati lu, supaya lu bisa terus asupin dengan yang sehat, bukan yang toxic. Gitu sih.
That's a very good point, because I think most of us got the wrong concept about being husband and wife. Just because you guys are a couple, each other's insecurities are together's burden gitu ya. Sebetulnya kalau dari pengalaman dan ceritanya Viola ya sama Dani ya masing-masing harus membenahi diri masing-masing dulu ya kan, baru bisa memulai perjalanan ini bersama. Oke, buat Dani sama Viola, what is the biggest misconception about marriage for you guys?
Disney lie.
Well, yeah, he's already mentioned it.
I mentioned it, you know, happily after.
Ever after.
Happily ever after. Nah, gue mungkin bakal, you know, mungkin ini sesuatu yang apa ya? Aduh, gimana ya? Mulainya dari mana ya? Because this is like I have so many things to unpack on this one, right? Okay. Yang pertama kayak gini. Pertama, kita sebagai seorang yang single, kita punya yang namanya dream, hope, and goal. Oke, pas single nih kita punya impian kita punya goal kita, ambisi kita punya cita-cita kita dan lain-lain gitu. Nanti kalau misalnya gue nikah, gue pengen nanti pasangan gue seperti ini. Oh iya, nanti dia bakal nge-treat gue seperti ini. Aduh, gue bakal whatever gitu ya. Nah, ketika nikah, that dream, impian lo, cita-cita lo, goal lo, akhirnya buat si pasangan tersebut jadi apa? Ekspektasi. Lu kan harusnya adalah orang yang memberikan gua semua yang gue impikan, semua yang gue cita-citakan, dan semua goal gue, ambisi-ambisi gue, itu harusnya lu yang akan memberikan gue hal tersebut. Kebahagiaan gue harusnya ketika gue menikah, lu yang harusnya memberikan gue kebahagiaan tersebut. Right? Coba pikirin deh ya, misalnya nih, nanti suatu saat ketika gue menikah, pasangan gue akan memberikan gue kebahagiaan dan akhirnya gue akan lengkap, ya kan? Kebanyakan orang mikir seperti itu, khususnya yang lagi single. Nah, bayangin kalau orang tersebut, si orang impian lo ini gitu ya, pasangan impian lo ini, dia juga lagi single dan dia berharap lo yang bertanggung jawab atas kebahagiaannya dia. Lo bakal mikir, gila tuh orang egois banget. Dia pikir gue siapa? Ngasih dia kebahagiaan? Enggak lah. Right? If we switch that, yang ada, kok tuh orang kayaknya egois banget gitu. Nah, tapi at the same time, kalau kita yang mengharapkan kebahagiaan tersebut dari orang lain, kita nggak egois. Karena kita nggak bisa melihat egois itu dari di kaca gitu. So, jadi itu dia kenapa pada akhirnya ketika kita nonton film Prince and Princess di mana and they live happily ever after, kita mikirnya, oh, and I will live happily ever after. Gua yang akan hidup bahagia selamanya. Padahal sebenarnya dari dulu dia ngomongnya they live happily ever after. Dan maksudnya they di sini bukan cuma prince sama princessnya aja. Ternyata they di sini ada tuh orang-orang di sekitarnya, petsnya si Cinderella misalnya, garsong ya yang jadi lilinnya atau apa gitu. Mereka semua happy. They all live happily ever after. Jadi sebenarnya Dengan pernikahan yang sehat, harusnya pernikahan tersebut akan membawakan kebahagiaan buat orang-orang di sekitar lu juga, right? And they all live happily ever after. Bukan cuman I live happily ever after. You know, and I think itu yang mungkin dimiskonsep banget sama banyak orang. Dan kita gak boleh banget naruh ekspektasi atau kebahagiaan kita menjadi tanggung jawab si pasangan kita. Jadi pada akhirnya, Viola gue gak boleh mikir kalau Viola ngutang banyak banget ke gue, tapi gue justru ngutang semuanya ke Viola. Ngerti gak sih? I don't, Viola doesn't owe me anything. Karena kalau misalnya, setiap kali gue mikir kalau Viola owe me something, berarti gue baru aja naruh ekspektasi ke Viola. You know? Tapi kalau misalnya Viola tidak hutang apa-apa sama gue, kenapa gue bisa mikir kayak gitu? Karena gue ngerasa, gila sih, you know, untuk nikahin gue aja, itu udah luar biasa banget. Dia harus ninggalin keluarga dia dari Jerman untuk ke Jakarta, untuk tinggal sama gue, itu udah sesuatu yang gak akan pernah bisa gue bayar pakai uang apapun seberapa banyaknya. Kedua, Viola memberikan gue 2 anak yang luar biasa. Again, gue juga udah gak akan bisa, it's priceless. I cannot ever pay her with anything. Jadi intinya, Viola gak ngutang apa-apa sama gue. Dan gue ngutang semuanya for Viola. Dan mudah-mudahan sih Viola juga mikir seperti itu ya ke gue. Right? So that's what I think that's the secret of our marriage juga, di mana gue nggak akan naruh ekspektasi ke Viola dan Viola juga nggak naruh ekspektasi ke gue.
Yeah, I have a little bit of expectation.
Jujur.
No, I mean, you know, a lot of people say like my happiness is completely dependent on myself, and that's like what's going around on social media lately as well. Like I am completely responsible for my own happiness. But once you've become one in a marriage, it's not that easy actually. And that's not even science-based, because science-based means you kind of like, I have my, you know, like my energy field around me, and he has his energy field around me, and we overlap, and we cannot separate each other from each other anymore completely. I'm still myself, he's still himself, but we overlap at some point. And when he is not happy, I cannot be fully happy. It's impossible. And it's nice in theory to say that, but it's just not true. How can I be happy when he's miserable and we're in the same room? Is that a good relationship? If that really doesn't affect me at all, I don't think so. But I want to add one thing that I really learned that helps me a lot get along with Daniel. And that is I don't take every of his behavior personal. You know, really often, and especially for my personality type, I think I just feel a lot around me. I can feel feelings, I can feel his behavior, I can feel when he's down, and my first reaction would be, did I do something wrong? Is it me? Have I said something wrong? Have I treated him wrong? And it's just not as easy as that, because sometimes it just has really nothing to do with me. He might have had a phone call that really put him down. Maybe it was from work. Maybe it was something from his family. Maybe it was something that, you know, something.
Job MC di cancel. Gara-gara pandemi again.
So I might not be completely aware of what's going on inside of him, because we don't know everything about each other every minute, right? We're not updating each other all the time. Would be weird too if we had to do that, right? So sometimes when he's like, let's say, he reacts in a certain way where I feel like, how come he treats me like that? How dare he? You know, like that could be my reaction, but I have to like take myself back. I'm like, maybe it's not me. Maybe he's had a bad day. And I don't have to take this personal. It's not me. Like, and so, or maybe when he has a certain behavior and I think, oh, it's my fault or whatever. No, maybe it's not. Maybe he brought that from his past. And that's something that is his trauma and his baggage. And it's not my responsibility. It's not my fault that he came with that baggage. It's not my fault. It's not always my fault. If something goes wrong with our relationship, sometimes it might be his stuff that he brings into the relationship. Sometimes it's my stuff that I bring into the relationship. And we need to be able to separate that, I think, and take ourselves a bit out. Because if I take everything personal,
Yeah.
I will be hurt all the time. But it was never meant to be personal. It's his stuff that he needs to work through, and I can be here and maybe help him partly work through that without always taking it personal and taking everything like it's all about me, it's all about me. It's not always about me. You know, how can we have a good relationship together? I have to sometimes really let go of my pride, because pride has no space in a relationship. That was one of the first things I had to let go getting married to Daniel. And I think it was a harder process for him maybe, but he also did.
Leo.
Oh my
pride-nya
God!
gimana
I
banget
feel
gitu ya.
you.
Jadi sekarang ini gue udah bisa dibilang gue jadi tame lion. Tame lion. jadi kucing.
Viola, a circus master ya, who tamed the Leo.
Circus master, yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can tame him completely. That would be boring, no? Not gonna tame him.
Okay.
Aku juga mau tahu ini dong. Rata-rata orang kan suka punya pikiran yang gini. Probably nanti kalau sudah menikah aku bisa merubah kebiasaan atau karakter suamiku atau istriku, ya kan? Itu juga kisah klasik dalam pernikahan. Yang aku pengen tahu dari Viola dan Daniel, apa pengalaman kalian and what's your thought on that? Do you guys somehow ever change for one another? Does it even possible?
Ooh. Wow.
Good question.
What a question.
Yeah.
So good. Aduh.
Who first?
You go first.
Okay.
Karena gue yang paling banyak berubah di sini gitu.
You think?
Yeah.
I think I also changed a little bit.
That question. You think?
You think I'm still the same?
Yeah. 10 years ago. No.
Hopefully my skin is still the same, but my soul and my character is different. No, so I really think changing someone's character is not something we can do. It's above us. I cannot change him. He cannot change me. He might be motivating me to become a better person, and I might be motivating him to become a better person, but not in the way like, hey, you have to, I don't like this about you. It's more the change. I believe people change on a foundation of love and trust and being encouraged and being believed in. And I think I always believed in Daniel, and I've always seen more in him than he could see in himself. And I've always had a bigger vision for him than he could see in himself. Not in the way that I would be like, work harder or whatever. No, more like I just see the gold in him. And I think that kind of trust and encouragement has really given him the right foundation to explore and to grow, and not having to, and not being pushed, and not being I'm not putting him down basically for not achieving things. It's the other way around in a way. But also, you know, there are lots of things that, of course, like in every relationship, there are things that I don't like about him or he doesn't like about me. And honestly, like sometimes there are things where I'm like, oh my God, really? Do I have to put up with this? You know? And I will be like literally talking to God. I'm like, God, please help me and change me, change him, because I want this relationship to work. I don't want to be things between us that I will not that I will constantly not like about him, you know? But it's not something I would point out at him all the time. That would just make him feel miserable. And based on that, he would probably just shrink back and become a worse person. So I'd rather bring those things to God and pray, God, you know, help us through this, make us better, let us grow. And he's done that. I've seen God do that in us in those last 12 years. And I based on that, I will believe he will do way more in the next 12 years and in the next, you know, how many years that we're going to be together. And I really believe God is the only one who can change him, and God is the only one who can change me. We can just be in that process together and help each other grow. Or we pull each other down because we have that power to do that with each other, right?
Ya, dan gue juga apa ya, mungkin kalau misalnya kalian nonton Daniel Tetangga Kamu yang episode Ari Untung sama Venita Ari, dia juga bilang gitu kayak gue mungkin gak akan pernah bisa ngerubah Feni, tapi gue bisa berdoa sama yang punya hatinya Fanny gitu, yang punya hatinya untuk mungkin bisa melunakkan atau merubah hatinya dia gitu. Dan I think kalau misalnya yang interview gue sama Dewi Sandra di Dan Tentang Kamu, dia juga bilang soal uh, apa gue melakukan tanggung jawab gue sebagai seorang istri. Dewi Sandra bilang gitu ya, gue melakukan tanggung jawab gue sebagai seorang istri bukan sebenarnya untuk suami gue, tapi untuk Allah gitu, untuk Tuhan. Dan itu keren banget sih menurut gue. Jadi kayak biarpun kadang-kadang lu ngerasa aduh gila kapan ya ini orang bisa berubah gitu, tapi yet at the same time lu tetap setia sama tanggung jawab lu sebagai seorang pasangan yang baik. And I think
Oke.
tanpa mempunyai ekspektasi bahwa suatu saat nih orang bakal berubah. Nah, dan kalau yang gue perhatiin dari apa yang Viola bilang barusan, gue sendiri adalah tipikal gue mempunyai love language. I think salah satunya word of affirmation. Jadi ketika seseorang encourage gue, "Wih Neil, tadi lu bagus banget di atas panggung," gitu misalnya, gue, like, hah, ada orang yang love language-nya itu dikasih hadiah gitu. Oh, kalau gue mungkin nggak terlalu gimana, tapi kalau gue jadi words of affirmation atau encouragement sama um, ini apa
Acts of service.
acts of service, acts of
Oke.
service. Nah, jadi sering banget Viola menangkap gue ketika gue lagi berbuat benar,
Hmm.
bukan ketika gue lagi berbuat salah. Jadi dia akan mengafirmasi atau kayak, lu tau nggak? Tadi ketika lu ngelakuin itu, gue bangga banget sama lu. Wow, like, dan akhirnya gue jadi semakin ke arah situ, right? Gue
Yes.
ketangkap basah ketika gue lagi berbuat baik. Gue ketangkap basah ketika gue lagi membuat sesuatu yang membanggakan dia. Dan dia langsung speak, dia langsung ngomong. Dan akhirnya lama-lama gue jadi menjadi seseorang yang ke arah situ gitu. Viola dari mungkin udah 6 tahun yang lalu, dia selalu bilang sama gue ngelihat ada diamond di dalam diri lu yang mungkin masih ketutupan sama yang ketutupan sama batu-batu, dekil-dekilnya atau apa gitu, masih kotor lah kayak gitu. Tapi gue tahu itu ada diamond di situ. Dan sedikit demi sedikit gue ngerasa semakin hari gue nikah sama lo, semakin gue bisa ngelihat diamond tersebut. Dan gue emang gak salah sih milih lo gitu. Dari pertama kali gue ketemu lo, gue udah percaya banget ada diamond itu, yang that rough diamond yang masih ada terus sampai sekarang ini. Dan itu kayak bikin gue jadi lebih gimana ya, kayak seneng juga gitu. And gue makin reach that potential yang mungkin Viola sendiri percaya, bahwa kadang-kadang gue sendiri nggak percaya sama diri gue, tapi Viola lebih percaya sama diri gue. Dan itu yang membuat gue bisa ngelakuin hal-hal yang gue pikir gue nggak bisa gitu. Ketika gue keluar rumah, gue jadi lebih secure karena uh, gue mungkin di luar pernah dianggap melakukan sebuah kegagalan, tapi ketika gue balik ke rumah, Viola bilang, "Hey, gue bangga deh, lo mencoba sesuatu yang baru, biarpun lo gagal barusan melakukannya, tapi gue bangga, at least you try. You know what? Let's get up and do it again." Itu gue kayak balik lagi ke secure. Gue nggak di judge, nggak dihakimin. Kayak pas begitu gue balik, tuh gue bilang juga apa? Lu nekat sih ngelakuin sesuatu yang baru, udah pasti gagal. Dari dulu lu ngelakuin apa, gagal mulu kan? Ya kan, and itu kadang-kadang apa yang ada di otak gue, itu kadang-kadang mungkin dari masa kecil gue dan lain-lain. Tapi ketika gue pulang ke rumah dan gue mendapatkan security tersebut dari Viola, "Hey, I'm proud you tried something new and you failed. It's okay. And let's do it again tomorrow." Itu gue ngerasa pas besoknya gue keluar rumah lagi untuk melakukan sesuatu yang baru, gue secure gitu. Gue mempunyai hati yang lebih secure kayak gitu sih. Dan di situ akhirnya lama-lama gue sendiri juga jadi berubah menjadi dan apa ya, menjadi orang yang lebih secure, karena gue dulu orangnya insecure banget. Gue khawatiran banget gitu, overthinking banget, gue ketakutannya cepet banget gitu. Tapi gue akhirnya berubah jadi seseorang yang jauh lebih secure dan lebih sehat dan gak toxic. Dan di situ yang dari secure-nya Viola yang tadi tuh dengan metafor yang gue ini ya, ketika gue friksi, security yang ada di Viola itu nyemplung ke arah gue, sehingga gue sendiri jadi orang yang jauh lebih secure, kayak gitu.
Nice. Ini yang nonton pada bertanya-tanya, kalau language-nya Viola apa dong? What's your love language, darling?
I think my love languages are physical touch, which means, yeah, like that. Physical touch. And it's really funny because I always thought, oh, Daniel doesn't give me enough of those, grabbing my hand, putting his arm around me in public, public as in like when like let's say we have friends over and like he would sometimes,
gitu atau cara banget.
There was this time when I figured out, like, it was after my dad had come to visit. My dad who's Italian, actually. I'm half Italian, half German. Is the extreme opposite, affectionate with physical touch, like as in, if he would sit on the sofa next to me, he would definitely hold me, massage my feet, like grab my arm, or like, like it's very, I think it's a very Italian thing, to show love that way. And I get so used to it growing up that way. And then my dad came to visit and he was here for like almost a month and I enjoyed that. And then my dad left. And the week after, I noticed, like, Daniel, I think I don't get enough physical touch from you, And Daniel was really shocked, like, what? I try so hard, And then the next day he came back to me and he said, I thought about it. And compared to my own father, like Daniel's father, like his father might be, when it comes to physical touch, his father is only 1.
Zero.
Oh, 0, yeah, 0.
Gila, gue gak pernah dipeluk sama bokap gue. Gue gak pernah kayak digandeng sama bokap gue atau, physical touch dari bokap gue itu 0.
Yeah, so he said, like, if my dad is 0, I'm at least a 10. But because your dad is like, but compared to your dad would be 100. Like,
Yeah.
your dad would be 100. And of course, like, compared to that, it's never enough. And I thought about it, I'm like, yeah, that's true. So I kind of give extra bonus every time I get physical touch from Daniel. I try to, weigh it extra. Yeah, but that's one of my love languages, definitely. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
I think, apologies. We
I
can't hear you.
Gue gak bisa dengar suara lu sama sekali, actually. There must be something wrong with Instagram. Lu masih bisa dengar suara gue? Oke, berarti suara lu yang benar-benar ngilang aja gitu. Coba cek. Ya.
No.
No.
Do you want to write the question?
yang lagi dengerin bisa dengar suara Dave nggak? Atau ini cuma masalah di kita aja? Suaranya hilang, berarti
okay.
suara Dave juga hilang. So, kok Daniel ada suaranya, tapi
Yeah.
suara Dave hilang. No! We had such a good conversation, guys.
So what are we going to talk about? Well, this mic is...
Ya, kita akan ngejawab lagi nonton. Gila, gue
what's there? Any questions from the audience?
Langsung aja. Kalau misalnya kalian ada pertanyaan, langsung taruh di situ supaya kita bisa. With you. What do you miss the most from Daniel? Oh,
that's a good question.
Because soalnya bentar lagi nih, bentar lagi, Viola bakal ke Jerman. Gue udah bisa dengar suara lo. Yes.
No, that was just a short bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
let's just answer the question.
Viola,
1 Agustus. Ya. 1 Agustus Viola bakal ke Jerman.
You miss the most from.
Ya. Oke, kayaknya suaranya lagging deh. Barusan kayak, Anyway, what do you miss the most?
So I'm gonna go to Germany on the 1st of August, and I'm probably not gonna see you for 1.5 months.
1,5 bulan tanpa gue.
that's the first time we're going to be separated for 6
Masih.
weeks, I think, at
Wow.
least. Yeah, it's a long one. And so I think we're very I mean, I'm an individualist very much. I can be alone for a while.
Okay.
And I will be very happy with that. So I don't mind being separated
Check.
sometimes. I also don't mind when Daniel goes
No.
to work and he's going to be gone overnight. But yeah, when he's not
Oh my
here,
God.
let's say I'm Ooh. Sorry. So when he's not around, let's say he goes for work overnight and he's emceeing a
hilang.
wedding in Surabaya, for example, and I'm home alone with just the kids, then I will miss him when I go to bed, and usually we will hug each other when we go to sleep, and I just like the warmth of his feet because I get easily cold, and I usually hug him from behind, and so he will turn around and I hug him from behind, and then we fall asleep, and I love that. It's completely bliss, basically. It feels home, it feels secure. I probably have like this intense
Please try.
oxytocin release, which
Oxytocin.
oxytocin,
Aku
the
tulis
hormone
ya.
that makes you feel like
Happy.
happy and comfortable and
At peace.
secure. And I think that's a wonderful thing that we can give each other when we're not fighting, because once we fight, no way I'm gonna hug him from behind, right? Yeah, so that's something I would miss about him a lot. But also I really would miss that he's so cheerful and he's always full of energy, and he's like a, you know, like a motivating force in my life, because I'm usually rather toned down. I like to think slow, peaceful, routine, and he would get me out of this and say, let's do this now, you know, and I'll be like, okay, you know, and it gives excitement to my life, and I really miss that about him when he's not around. Any other questions?
Si Dave lagi stres. Kenapa suara gue nggak ada?
Okay, there's another question. Is there?
No.
No. Okay. Do you guys have any question for Dale?
Kayaknya Dave lagging. Jadinya,
Yeah.
sorry Dave, lu lagging. Let me take over from now. From here on out, gue yang take over aja. Tolong diganti namanya Brunch with Daniel. Just kidding. So,
Okay, no questions yet.
Ya, suara Dave belum keluar.
We're waiting for your question, guys. One question for Daniel, maybe?
Right. Jadi, yang lucu sih tadi si suara Dave hilang, jadi lucu lihat ekspresi wajahnya. So the good thing about istri Daniel so beautiful. Thank you Bunga Gladys. Ya, udah deh. The perks of join live with VJ. Oh, apa tuh Sadini? Gue cuma baca-bacain komen aja sekarang. Boleh dibantu tutup Mas Daniel? Oh, ini dia. Bagaimana cara menghadapi different love languages di antara kalian?
Udah bisa? Oke.
Yeah, Dave, I heard you.
No. Itu lagging dari yang tadi. Pas kita bilang kalau misalnya udah bisa.
It's not. Sorry, your video and your sound is not connected.
Yeah, jadi you just have to.
Okay, so how do you overcome different love languages with each other? What would you say?
Pertama lo harus tahu banget sih ya love language-nya dia apa, love language-nya gue apa.
Oh yeah, and you can check that out on
adalah
online, like just Google love languages, and there will be a website with a test where you can test what is your love language, and then you can test your husband's love language, or your children's love language, or your pet's love language. Just kidding. But you can basically test that, and then it's just good to know, because once you're aware of it, and once you're aware of the other's love language, you can kind of try different things, like, oh, he actually doesn't love gifts. But I love gifts. I've been giving him gifts, and I always wondered, how come he never showed me the reaction, the thankfulness, and the love that I would have expected after giving him gifts? Maybe it's because he just doesn't feel loved when he gets gifts, right? It's just not a love language for him.
Jadi ada saat misalnya gini deh, ada misalnya gue love language-nya adalah quality time.
Carry on.
Tapi si
I can
Viola
still
itu
hear you.
nggak pernah ngasih gue quality time. Jadi gue nggak akan pernah ngerasa dicintain dari Viola kalau misalnya gue nggak dapet quality time tersebut. Tapi Viola sukanya adalah ketika gue ngasih dia hadiah, dia ngerasa dia lagi disayang banget gitu. Dan karena love language dia misalnya gift gitu ya, hadiah. Nah, jadi lebih gilanya lagi, si Viola nggak pernah ngasih gue quality time, tapi Viola selalu ngasih handphone baru. Dia selalu ngasih gue kayak jam tangan baru. Kita benar-benar connect satu sama yang lain gitu. And that's love for me. Nah, jadi minimal lo harus tahu dulu ketika itu berbeda gitu ya. Maksudnya kayak ternyata Viola suka quality time, gue nggak suka. Well, gue akan make an effort gitu. Gue akan benar-benar berusaha banget untuk memberikan dia quality time atau apa yang dia butuhkan banget gitu. Kenapa harus effort? Yaitu namanya pernikahan, teman-teman. Jadi pernikahan itu adalah effort kita untuk terus memberikan pelayanan terbaik sebagai seorang pasangan. Kayak gitu. Bagaimana dengan adanya gue di hidup ini, Viola menjadi orang yang jauh lebih baik karena adanya gue. And I think itu harus dari hati yang penuh dengan hati yang melayani gitu. Um, dan itu arti cinta sebenarnya. Karena cinta itu bukan mengambil, cinta itu selalu memberi, cinta itu selalu memberi
Yes, yes,
pelayanan.
yes, yes.
Cinta itu bukan bukan you know, wah pokoknya harus gue yang bahagia, harus gue yang dilayanin, harus gue. That's not love. Itu nafsu, itu ego, itu pride. Nah, um, lalu ya itu sih yang ya mungkin untuk gue tutup aja kali ya. Kesian si Dave, mukanya makin lama makin stres. Untuk gue tutup aja ngasih. Jadi kemarin tuh sempat ada yang nanya gitu ya ke gue. Kebetulan badannya kayak keker banget, dia punya six pack gitu. Habis itu dia nanya sama gue kayak, dia nanya sama gue gitu, minggu ini lo ngapain? Gue bilang kayak, well, gue bakal date night sama istri gue. Dia bilang kayak gitu, hah, date night? Ngapain date night? Ah, lu masih date night? Kan lu udah nikah, ngapain lu pacaran lagi sama istri lu gitu? Gue bilang, wah gimana ya? Karena kan gue suka ya pacaran sama istri gue gitu, date night gitu sama bini gue. Tapi abis itu tiba-tiba it hits me di sebuah
Oke. Good one, good one.
metafor gitu
Sekarang
ya
suara aku
di
bisa kedengeran
kepala
gak
gue,
sih?
dimana kayak gara-gara
Iya.
dia punya six pack, right? Si temen gue ini punya six pack. Gue bilang sama dia kayak, bro, lu punya six pack, lu pengen, lu pengen gak punya six pack ketika lu umur 80 gitu? Dia
Yes.
bilang kayak, ya pengen lah kayak gitu. Well, itu artinya lo harus nge-gym dong setiap minggu. Iya, karena lu pengen punya six pack sampai lu umur 80. Nah, lalu gue bilang gitu, gue sama Viola, gue pengen banget bahagia, hidup bahagia sama dia sampai gue umur 80 dan bahkan 100 atau 120 kalau bisa. Target kita lumayan jauh gitu kan. Gue pengen bahagia terus sama dia sampai akhir hayat gue gitu. Itu dia kenapa gue date night. Gue pacaran, anak-anak di rumah kita titipin orang tua gue, kita titipin mbak kadang-kadang. Dan tapi kita sebisa mungkin menjaga hubungan date night atau kita berdua ini ya dengan pacaran, dengan date night setiap minggu supaya hubungan kita sampai umur 80 itu selalu harmonis dan selalu langgeng. Dan I think bagi yang udah nikah, siapa tahu aja bisa bisa mendapatkan tips ini, advice ini, dan banyak banget advice atau nilai-nilai yang udah kita pelajarin seperti ini, yang seperti apa yang kita ngomongin barusan di channel YouTube gue di Journey to Love, itu di Daniel Mananta Network. Karena di situ kalau misalnya lu sekarang stres gitu ya, aduh Viola ngomong apa sih dari tadi bahasa Inggris terus, di situ ada teks bahasa Indonesianya, so no need to worry.
Yes.
Hari ini kebetulan kita break untuk Journey to Love. Biasanya kita tayang setiap hari Sabtu jam 4 sore. Hari ini kita break. Minggu depan kita akan tayangin episode Bali. So that will be very, very exciting.
Don't miss out. We loved shooting this episode and we were thinking of all of you guys while we were shooting that. And we really hope it will enrich your life, it will enrich your relationships and your marriage, and it will just, yeah, make you capable of having real love in your life.
Yeah.
And thank you, Harper's Bazaar and Dave. Thank you so much. It was such an honor to be on your Instagram channel, and we took over.
Thank you. Dan kita masih nggak bisa dengar suara lo.
Yes.
Then anyway, yes. So, you know, it's so good. It's like, oh, you know what? Lo harusnya belajar sign language sih. So I just want to say thank you. And we, I don't know. We send love to you.
Yes, we do.
Guys, thank you so much yang udah nonton juga. I really appreciate it. And
have a wonderful weekend. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. There's so many good things in this world.
all right, bye guys.
Bye.
See you, Dave. Thank you.
Bye, Dave. It's so nice to meet you. Finally.
Anyway, saya cuma mau bilang terima kasih banyak untuk Daniel sama Viola. Oh my god, you guys are so amazing. Untung tamu gue presenter, jadi dia bisa take over ya. The worst nightmare ever. Tapi yang hebat adalah teman-teman sekalian yang tadi tetap menyaksikan walaupun koneksi saya jelek sekali. Lengkapnya nanti bisa ditonton di YouTube-nya Bazaar Indonesia. Dicari aja Brunch with Dave. Buat Anda yang tadi memberikan saran, semoga ada episode berikutnya membahas mengenai wisdom of marriage bersama Daniel dan Viola. Nanti kita bikin lagi buat teman-teman sekalian ya. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Have a nice week. And turn off your phone. Be with your family. Bye everyone.